Welcome to the Handheld Hero Hideout. Today's a 4x3 frenzy of pixelated protagonists complete with wizards, warriors, and all manner of monsters. A 16x9 sanctuary of kings and thieves, brilliant twists and breathtaking bosses. These are some of my top JRPGs and which versions of each I recommend, and a peek into some of the worlds where valuable lessons, blissful peace, or a story that keeps you up thinking at night, are all at the tips of your thumbs. This is an emulator's beginner guide to JRPGs. Now settle into your seat, get cozy with your console, cause here we go. Have you ever been told, it's just a game, and you instantly knew from that statement alone they could never understand the value of your quest? If you're angry with the game, it's usually because you've invested some part of yourself into it, spent time building up the skills necessary, honing your reaction time, and questing for items, conquering your peers. If someone spent time on it, then it matters. Only a gamer truly understands what it feels like to grind for 40 hours, only to have a boss drop an item with worse stats than your trousers in real life, only to be right back at it the next day. Because every time it doesn't drop, that means another person out there gave up before you. Sometimes the world feels a bit much, and honestly, that's why I hide out here. There's something therapeutic about a world where problems are clearly marked with health bars, and you can solve any problem just by being persistent. The world is a loud place. 24-hour news cycles, political propaganda, and hate are rampant. That's why JRPGs are so important. They help us by reminding that sometimes it's better to pretend to be a hero than to really be hopeless.
I'm somebody.
I feel like the more you can accomplish and connect in a good RPG, the more of an edge in our cruel reality you can improve. It's a wonderful mindset to stay focused, and it can help you work through trauma, or provide a beautiful world to inhabit, where you'll not only matter, but you're the key. If you crave adventure, connection, or just need to see an example of true heroism of friendship, grinding level by level to achieve true power, equipment with rare drops, bosses that take planning and skill to defeat. Or if you, like me, you just overlevel and optimize for every situation. Enchantments and dungeon crawling, airships to dungeons, materia and magic, limit breaks and phoenix downs, annoying and endearing guides, incredible art styles and stories. It's time to gather round the glow of those screens, cause we're talking about a series that doesn't just play on your device, it lives in your soul. I'm talking about the Breath of Fire series. Imagine it's the 90s, Saturday night, and your CRT's flickering like an inviting campfire. You're tucked under your blanket with your terrible Mad Catz controller clutched tightly. You pop the cartridge into your SNES, slide that purple power button and hear that satisfying pop click. As simple as that, you're Ryu. You've got nothing but a sword and a mysterious heritage to tackle, and a world that feels impossibly big. There's something deep underlying in this franchise, and it starts with the light and dark dragons in the first two games. Even the ultra-budget K36 looks cozy and engaging. I actually prefer this vibe from my older systems. You're exploring villages, the characters are interesting and diverse, from a giant oxman to a thief with bunny ears. It becomes more than a quest, it becomes an epic journey, complete with the oddest assortment of companions gathered since the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And then we hit the PlayStation era. Breath of Fire 3 looks incredible on the 476H with 5x upscaling and 25% scan lines. It almost feels like a living pixelated painting. The story hooks you immediately. The opening sequence, when the man blessed open the baby dragon and you take control of the dragon, was something I'll never forget. Scared and alone. You watch him grow up. You feel his struggles every year of his life. Grinding for EXP points is more like changing into a demigod with a jazzy upbeat soundtrack. It's definitely got a heart. By the time we reach Breath of Fire 4, we're witnessing an art style that sweats pure aesthetic. You've got the yin and yang of Ryu and the God Emperor Fao Lu. One moment you're relaxing, next to a stream and fishing. The next, you're watching a deity lose his ever-loving mind. The combat's snappy, the combo system is addictive, and the next-gen screen makes the colors look like fireworks display. The JRPGs on PS1 feel like they were literally made for the 476H. It reminds me of why I fell in love with handhelds in the first place. Nod to TechDweeb. I actually learned about him from watching one of his videos for the first time. It's amazing the transformation, not only in Ryu, turning into massive fire-breathing Kaiser Dragon, but us. The better my handhelds get, the more I feel like that wide-eyed lad under the blanket tucked away from the world, with nothing but a D-pad and a dream. Now, I was always taught that material things don't matter, but honestly, sometimes they do. You need a sanctuary, and sometimes, if you can keep that with you in your pocket, that's a huge deal to me. Dragon Quest. Dragon Warrior. From NES to Switch. Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior 1 through 3, I prefer to play on the SNES hack. Dragon Quest, also known as the great-grandfather of all JRPGs, aimed at a younger audience and consistently steering away from many of the darker elements. These games stay true to the cheerful, bright, and energetic adventures that they're known for. They don't try to be anything but what they are: immersive, fun, and sometimes a bit silly. My personal favorite is Part 6 for the Nintendo DS, or RG-DS in this case. It immediately sets itself apart from the rest. It just hits a specific button for me. Though there's traces of Dragon Quest DNA across almost every RPG to this day. Originally released as Dragon Warrior in North America, there was that great controversy over the cover art of the NES release. It had a distinctive art style, and many feel like the spirit of the game was lost in transition. With a distinctive art style, grandiose music, and intuitive combat, it's a great series for anyone who wants to recapture a little magic in their life. If Breath of Fire is a cozy campfire, Final Fantasy is the blazing sun. To do the series justice, I've spread the first 10 masterpieces across my handhelds to find the ultimate way to play, and which versions I recommend for each handheld. One of the most incredible things that could have happened to the first two games, and Part 4, was the PSP remake. Paired with my RG505 with Gamma OS, PSP runs at a perfect 2x upscaling on the RG505's OLED panel. It's the perfect balance of retro handheld and modern finesse. Final Fantasy III, the 3D jump for the third entry. I also like the SNES hack version. Nothing beats the RG-DS though. Having that dual screen setup for the 3D remake feels right at home. It's how this version was meant to be experienced. I'm a big believer that the device you play on brings its own personality to the game. The Golden Age. We're diving into the Anbernic 476H for this, using DuckStation on this 4.7-inch 120Hz display is the game changer. The 4x3 aspect ratio and high overhead of power not only offer incredible look, and you can get over 10 hours of battery life with PS1 on DuckStation. These are some of the games that are shining examples of why this franchise is so important to so many people. And now the legend. My first JRPG wasn't until Final Fantasy VII came out. Now I traced it back. I was actually 12 when I got it. I saw a commercial on the telly for Final Fantasy VII. That same week, I went over to my best friend's house around the corner. He had a brother that was 4 years older. He had run out and purchased Final Fantasy VII immediately upon release. So over the course of the next month or so, while I eagerly ate up every moment I could see, there was a very special portion of the game I got to watch while staying the night. I'll never forget. It was the sequence when Cloud was remembering back to his mission for Soldier with Sephiroth. That night, I decided I deserved to experience that story as much as anyone. I still remember the reflection of the fire in Sephiroth's eyes, the feel of the absolute immersion, and the unique ability of this world to completely absorb me. Luckily, I had lived in a neighborhood with a lot of grass to mow, and it only cost 50 cents at the time to fill my mower. So I went out with a will and determination and was able to get a PlayStation with Final Fantasy VII and complete player's guide in about a month. I recruited my friend across the street to help and split everything 50-50. I remember weapons with full multicolored materia slots. I remember exploring and grinding that world for the next 3 years of my life. The art style was unique, futuristic and interesting. Every character was as different and unique as people in real life. The mission and settings were varied and fun. From snowboarding and chocobo racing at the Golden Saucer, to spending 3 hours picking out your lady's outfit to sneak past a creep at Walmart. The quests remain fulfilling, and the story never stops paying off. It features the materia system for magic, and still to this day is my favorite way of imagining magic. Cloud is the hero other heroes should be. Sephiroth is what every Saturday morning supervillain wishes they were. There's just one word to describe him. Cool. So my journey with gaming started young. I actually made a video about my gaming past and present. I think 12 is a pretty typical age to start wondering what more was out there. Thanks to my mum, I had already read titles like The Hobbit and The Sword of Shannara. I believe that even that year, I read The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. Final Fantasy VII was originally set to be made for the Nintendo 64, but due to the incredible size limitations and difficulty developing for the system, Square made the smart move and went where their dreams could be realized. At the time, I had genuinely never seen anything like it. Who's this pointy-head protagonist with his giant blunt sword? How could they have possibly made a video game so massive? I do have a bit of a confession. I took Tifa on the date to the Golden Saucer. That was always one of my biggest issues with Cloud. I always thought that he was kind of a dope when it came to Tifa. I didn't connect with Aeris really until that fateful day. And then all I could do for years was feel terrible I wasn't nicer to her. I had decided early on in the game that Cloud and Tifa should be together, that's the reason. That fateful day though was the moment I went from thinking Sephiroth was cool to grinding over 300 hours to make sure that when we had our final showdown, it would be decisive. I remember having it in my head I needed to just get a little more stronger, a little more powerful. But it also became an excuse not to, I admit. I spent almost an extra 3 years just grinding around in that world, riding in my airship, leveling up, breeding chocobos, occasional trips to the Golden Saucer. Probably spent as much time in that snowboarding minigame in the Golden Saucer than I have like any actual real snowboarding game. And I really love snowboarding. I think the only part of that game I don't like is when you get stuck underneath the Golden Saucer. That was rough. For Zidane and the crew, I'm pulling out the big guns in the Odin 2. We're replaying on the Switch remaster, and with that power running in docked mode, the high-definition character models are breathtaking. It's smooth, fast, and the definitive way to travel to Gaia. A fun story of friendship and folly, heroism and humor. It's a wonderful entry in the Final Fantasy series. Final Fantasy X. We're heading back to the 476H in my custom Nether SX2 settings as shown in my 476H review video for the PS2 era. Tidus and Yuna's journey on the screen are incredible. Experiencing Spira in the palm of your hand is a dream I've had for a long time. Although I own the PS3 remake of Final Fantasy X, this will be my first true playthrough of my own. I have an excuse for it. Now, I know an excuse is like a butthole. Everyone has one and no one wants to hear it, but at the time, I was totally addicted to a text-based RPG based on the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. It's called Whatmod 4. Those were amazing because not only was it the first thing you could play online with others, it used the most powerful graphics card known to man, the human brain. I think it's a very good escape, and handhelds and gaming has really helped save me, and I appreciate the you's taking this journey with me. If you would like to help me save my progress, please consider hitting the subscribe button, and if you liked the video, hit the like button. And if you're still here, I just want to offer a word of encouragement. You can do it. If I can get to where I am, anyone can do anything. Take care, everyone. Take care of yourselves and each other, and happy gaming.